Hey everyone, welcome back to Costanzo Financial Advisors. Today, we got a very unique topic going over Roth conversions. Now, a Roth conversion is something that probably a lot of people have started to hear more about recently, where now you can convert your 401k pre-tax or an IRA and convert it over to a Roth. Now, what that does, any future earnings you have on that money now grows tax-free. It's been very popular among higher net worth individuals or people who just don't want to pay taxes later on. There is a strong, you can say, evidence that the taxes that we're currently paying today are probably going to go up in the future. This is due to government debt, due to a lot of things going on in today's market today. Some wars may be brewing up that might increase our taxes in the future, which might mean you might want to pay the taxes on your IRA or 401k now, as opposed to waiting 20, 30, 10 years from now into the future and paying it then. Also, the other side of this is people who have a lot of money in qualified accounts, you need to pay that money eventually in an RMD. So a required minimum distribution. You're required to take money out of your account and pay taxes on it. Now, you have no control if you as the government start doing it year after year after you turn 72 and a half. You might have some pretty big tax bills here in the future. It gets larger and larger every single year. A Roth conversion helps you control that, where you have the money you take out, you're controlling that. You can keep yourself in a lower tax bracket over the course of time there. Because the thing you don't want to have happen is you're in a 40% tax bracket taking out $500,000-$600,000 a year because your IRA got bigger than you thought, and it probably will, right? Money doubles every 7 to 10 years. And if you're not taking money out of there, you got $1 million, $2 million in there today, that's gonna be 4 or 5 million. That's gonna be a very big RMD if you don't do any Roth conversions to stop that. So what I'm gonna show you today are some examples of how a Roth conversion can be effective. And in the current market today, with high interest rates, what is the best option to actually convert your money over to a Roth? And in a lot of cases, it actually could be a no-brainer for a lot of people, is using some different investments that actually help pay those taxes, not actually pay the taxes, but give you extra money in the investments when you convert it over to where you have a lesser tax bill and more money in your Roth account than you would normally. So to break this down, I have an Excel sheet that I'm going to walk you through and really give you an idea of what this looks like. First thing though, a normal Roth conversion, what is that normally? Well, you pay taxes on that when you convert it. So just to be clear, for those who don't know, if you got 100 grand and you want to convert that 100 grand to a Roth IRA from your IRA, you're going to pay ordinary income tax on that 100 grand. So if you're in the 24% tax bracket, you're going to pay $24,000 on that conversion. So in order to help avoid that, right, because now we're left with $76,000 in the Roth IRA, there are some things that we can do. And it takes proper planning, making sure we're not distributing it a whole lot at once. We are being aware of what tax bracket you're in and using the right investment to actually do it. Now, I'm going to show you this here in the Excel sheet. So stay tuned as I pull this up. There we go. Okay. So the first thing, I don't want to talk about the product yet. You don't have to do it this way, but it does work a little bit better when you do it this way. There is something called a fixed index annuity. Not getting into this in this video today and what a fixed index annuity is. Feel free to watch my other videos that go into detail on how the fixed index annuity works. But within these annuities, they have some things that give bonuses. Now, bonuses vary per state you're in and per company you're using with the annuity. The highest out there today is probably sitting at around 18%. And again, this changes as interest rates change. The higher rates are, typically the higher bonuses are being offered. I'm using a 15% bonus just to kind of give you an example of how this works. But again, this could be different depending on what state you're in. You should talk to somebody like myself about how to do this strategy and what, depending on what state you're in, actually works for you. Now, With this, we're showing someone is 65 with $500,000 in their qualified bucket. Now, what they're going to be receiving here is a 15% bonus, meaning their 500 grand is going to grow to 575 off the bat. Typically, these bonuses have fees on them. Some fees are 0.1%, some fees are 1%, sometimes there's not a fee. It depends on the product. Again, an example here, we're not showing a specific product in this example, more of just hypothetical strategies that we can use. The 500 grand goes to 575, and I'm showing a 4% assumed rate of growth, which could be much higher, could be lower. These EIAs grow based on the market. A fixed index annuity, you could have a fixed account in there that earns 4% a year for 1 year guaranteed, and you reset it every year, or it can grow with an index, and that can grow at 10% if the index is 10, or it can be 2, or whatever the index does. But you can't lose in the fixed index annuity, so your worst return is always going to be 0. They're more conservative, definitely, but could be very useful in this Roth conversion. So we're showing a 4% rate of return. You can see the money is growing here, and we are distributing money out of here for the Roth conversion. Now, in this example, right, we're doing 500 grand over a 5-year time period. We're converting that over to a Roth IRA. We're assuming we're in a 24% tax bracket. So we're in a 24% tax bracket, converting over $130,000. Again, this is very specific to you. If you have state taxes, right, you have to include that. This is just showing federal. I'm in Florida, so you don't have the state tax here. But if you are in a state that has a state tax, we have to include that as well. Regardless, so we get 15% bonus here. We're growing our money. We're doing these Roth conversions. These are the taxes that we're paying. All right, so as you're converting the money over, we're paying $31,000, essentially, 33 these last 2 years, because we're pulling out 140, a little bit more extra to get all this money out of here. And as that's converting, you'll notice over here that they're going into these fixed index annuities, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, technically, they're all still in the same annuity as it was previously. They're just getting moved over to the Roth version of the annuity. And for Excel's sake, I show it in 5 different categories. Now we're going to get to year 6 here. We are now fully converted over. And this is again showing a 4% rate of return. Your 500 grand is now 575 6 years later, but you are fully in a tax-free vehicle. So we pay the taxes and all this money. We paid upwards of $161,000 in taxes, moving this money over with a 4% rate of return. We're looking at around 575. We made 75 grand essentially from our 500, and we're no more taxes on this money. You have no more RMD on this money, so you have to pull money out of here at all. And kind of to boot, if you do pass away, your beneficiaries do not pay taxes on this money either. They get it tax-free. So when looking at this and when seeing, well, what if I just did a normal conversion without the annuity? Sure, you could do that. The big difference here now is we are not going to get that extra $75,000. So off the bat, you can say, oh, we'll be at 500 then. So it'll be breaking even. If that's the case, that's not really how it works, because that extra 75,000 is also growing with the 4% rate of return throughout the 5 years there. So we were to take this out, and we're going to have to redo some of these calculations. You can see we're actually taking too much money out here in this case. So we had to actually reduce how much we're converting per year because we have less money in the account. Too many zeros there. You can see here we're still too high. And here we got like $86,000 left. We convert that over. So you'll see here, end of year 6, we have about 500 grand left over there when it comes to that. And that's with the 0% bonus, getting a 4% rate of return. So again, it's a $75,000 difference with 500 grand. It's almost like a 15, 18% differential in how much money you have. Now we have higher returns. This gets better and better, of course, on that, but being conservative with the returns, I think makes a big impact on what we're seeing here. So having that extra bonus can make a big impact with your Roth conversion. So if you're thinking about doing a Roth conversion today, definitely is a strategy you have to look at in terms of, does it make sense for you? Because for some people, it might not. But if it does, it will give you a much better conversion, much more money in that Roth account going forward. So any questions, please comment below. More than happy to answer all those for you. And if you want to talk to me further on this, feel free to give me a call or schedule an appointment with me. More than happy to walk you through how exactly this strategy plans out and how it could work for you individually.